Welcome to Go Home Heat, sports entertainment
Yes.
podcast. And wow, what a week we had in WWE. We're going to go through all of it, and warts and all, as they say. Raw, starting with a match, MVP versus Apollo Crews. MVP does well. Apollo pulls it off. Apollo backstage. Gonna have the old belt put in his kid's room. And what did you think about this? MVP's pissed about the lights flickering on and off.
MVP is he's the draw.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because the way he talks, the way he runs things, the way he does, everything he does. I'm so surprised by him. It's amazing.
That it's still there, yeah.
Yeah. And it's better. That side of the game is way better
Oh, yeah.
than it ever was when he was first with the company. It was good, but this he's at now, he's hitting on 12 cylinders. But
Yeah.
Apollo, man, I almost think Apollo needs to go with him. I mean, it helps to feud him because he'll make you look like but man, you heard him when he was on the mic.
It's plain as it can be.
It's very plain.
And
I want to like him, dude, but I think he needs a manager. I think he needs somebody to talk for him.
And it leaks into his in-ring because even though he's an amazing, physical specimen, it just feels so baby face.
It is.
In an era where baby faces aren't that cool.
No.
But I love the guy. Like I said,
dude, I want him to be successful.
Right. And I almost agree with you. He needs to be in that. And Cedric, in a way, is the same thing.
Yeah.
And yet, for whatever reason, the Cedric comes off a little different, though, to me, too.
Yeah.
He's still, there's not an edge, but it doesn't leak into the ring like it does.
Yes. Because he has such a dynamics.
Yes. Correct. Okay, Shane McMahon's brainchild is being protected by a 7'4" former Ninja Warrior. And we
I thought that was him.
Later.
I thought it was him.
Yeah.
That dude has got a lifelong. If he wants to just be that guy in movies from now on, he can do that.
Yeah, scary. Banks and Bailey have footage. At the end, Asuka appears, and revenge will be sweet. Then Baszler rolls up on him and sucker punches Sasha.
Oh, it looks so good. It was great. I
thought Shayna looked a little less rigid here. I think this time around with her, she's starting to feel a little more natural in her role. Which I think she felt that way on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a little bit of a difference between going to 20,000 seat arenas and being in front of the Performance Center too, to some degree, right? But I do feel like this is good for her right now.
Oh,
she's
dude,
doing well.
and then, I just like the. Do you think they're turning her babyface, or at least tweener? That looks like it to me.
Well, if she's gonna oppose Sasha, she has to be some form of a tweener. And that's.
Well, and then she came out there and she attacked Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the only, and she, and two. Later, she'll get nose-to-nose with Asuka, but she doesn't attack her.
No, she gives her the, I respect you enough, I want to take the belt off you speech.
Right. Oh, you won. Right,
yeah.
Right. I do think there's something to that. Because, like you said, Nia and Sasha will be the heels in this thing. Okay, Kevin Owens show. KO walks to the stage. The Iconics want on, but no. He's got a different show planned. Ruby Riott is getting the star treatment. And if only Liv would be by her side. I do have Liv here, and then Kevin tries to go all driving and crying on us with Peacemaker, make the peace.
Yes.
I will be the one you keep. Yes. Okay. That is a obscure music reference for those of you out there. Ruby is very sorry about everything. And she wants this to work out. And Liv is kind of a, should I stay or should I go now?
Oh, man, you're killing it today, dude. You're on it.
Yes. The common theme here is the microphones don't work and the lights flicker. What on earth could be going on? Did they pay their bills?
Is Vince McMahon got a fork in a light socket somewhere?
Yes. Peyton and Billy Kay slap the taste out of Kevin Owens' mouth after they go to the ring, and that turns into a fight. What did you think about all that?
I thought it was, I don't mind getting Ruby Riott back with Liv Morgan. I thought that was
We're supposed to have a women's tag team division.
Yeah.
We got to have women's tag teams.
Yes.
And I agree.
I think Liv's gotten better as a wrestler, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, that if you put her there with Riott can do the heavy lifting, and Liv Morgan come in for the spot,
she's your hot tag.
She's your hot tag. And now more than the first time they were around, that's a good idea.
And they both done some mic time, too, so they should be able to do well with this. They wound up winning the match, by the way. And so that's good. Charlie said, it is good. I like that Connex. We can sometimes say, well, the tag team should win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a roll-up in there.
Yeah.
It
is what it is.
Yeah, I like it. Charlie says that the boxes are falling backstage.
What? And oh my God.
It's an unfair work environment.
Unsafe.
That's what MVP says.
I do like the way that they're doing stuff like their news segments, like reporting to you live from the scene, Bob.
Look at all these boxes on the floor.
Look at these boxes on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes. Chaos.
Yes.
Who shot this stuff? But then the segment is saved. Because MVP comes in, it's like, why are you talking about boxes?
Yes. You should be talking about me.
Yes.
I'm being treated on this thing. Now, we get to a great segment next because Drew McIntyre calls out Randy. Randy interrupts and retreads a little bit on him,
mm-hmm.
and then gives Drew the floor and says, say something that that nobody else has said. And I think Drew gives his best promo
of his career,
at least of this championship run.
Yeah.
I can't remember him giving a better promo than this. And
just points out, deconstructs Randy not just as in the kayfabe Randy,
mm-hmm.
but Randy as a performer and as the guy he was in the backstage for a lot of his career. I don't know how he is now. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But
he does point out how on the Undertaker's last ride, Randy says,
he reached down and pulled me up.
Made me a star too.
Mm-hmm.
Then Drew points out that Edge reached down when Randy was in dire straits, when Randy couldn't figure things out. He said, even you said he pulled you out of all these things. He said, you saw me backstage. You knew I was floundering. You knew I was stuck here, and my mom, I think he said his mom was dying
mm-hmm.
overseas, back home for
mm-hmm.
him. And you had nothing to say to me. You couldn't bother to
mm-hmm.
help
somebody
me
up.
Right. And you still can't. And that is the way people have always kind of perceived Randy as worried about Randy.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I haven't seen anything to the contrary. I mean, I'm not backstage. I don't know. Maybe this dude's the greatest guy in the world, but I've never seen it on the screen too many times.
No.
I've never,
And even
I know that Kofi Kingston took 10 years to get over.
Well, there's a long list of, because Randy had the favor of Trips.
Mm-hmm.
He had the favor of Batista. He had the favor of Flair.
Uh-huh.
But mainly, he was in Triple H's ear, who was in the booking room.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a long list, supposedly, of people that worked with Randy that never got... they say Cena buried people, but you've never heard anybody say Cena said anything about anybody backstage.
No.
The Kofi Kingston feud that was really good for Kofi ended his run as a singles wrestler for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get Kofi Mania. According to dirt sheets or whatever. But it's I get that, but then I do think I've read some things where Randy might be a little different now, but by the same token, it doesn't mean you still can't say it on air.
Yeah, and make the point that
it was great.
I got fired.
Exactly.
I got fired for the stuff when you literally took a crap on people. Like I don't know how he said it, but he said, and I'm not being figurative.
Yeah.
He pointing out, the Randy stuff that Randy did in the backstage area that anybody else should have gotten fired for.
And Randy never got fired.
No.
And Randy's retort was something to the effect of, well, I was valuable and you weren't.
Which is the excellent heel retort.
Yeah. And, dude, it exactly. All of this is best when there's a little bit of truth to it.
That's always the best way to tell a story, is to have a little bit of truth in there that you can build your framework off of.
I love the finish of, I'm going to kick your head off, and you'll see it coming.
Yeah.
It won't be out of nowhere.
Ain't no coming out of nowhere. I'm coming straight down the pipe for you.
Okay, and then we wind up, so this segment's over, and we wind up with Ric Flair approaching Kevin Owens and wanting to know why he's trying to be a guidance counselor. And Kevin says that he doesn't want to be, and he kind of reinforces what Drew had said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like Randy.
Mm-hmm.
I see these two people that I appreciate. I think they can work well together and do big things together. Why wouldn't I try to help them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like Randy.
Mm-hmm.
And that turns into basically keep Randy's name out of your mouth, and then they wind up booking a match for the next week, which I thought was good. And Kevin Owens is in a neat spot in the company.
Yeah.
He'll lose next week. He'll give us a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin won't lose any steam.
No.
And if he wants to come back, if they want to grab Kevin and make him the next thing somebody has to deal with, he can still do that because he's fantastic. Okay. Nia Jax winds up approaching the ring, and she appreciates her status in the company, and she wants to speak to the Raw executive. We assume this will be for apology, but no, she winds up, who suspended her last week, she winds up challenging that person to a fight and then winds up beating him up. Did you like it?
No.
I did.
Did you really?
I did, because I like her beating up on guys.
I can see that.
I find it interesting that because to me, it doesn't make sense if she would not be formidable if she attacked a woman executive.
No,
So
of course not.
So just bullying men is awesome.
I mean, but then she gets suspended indefinitely. I mean, it was...
But that's not going to be how it works, though.
I know, but I was hoping they were going to let Shayna Baszler slap her around. That was what I was hoping.
It's coming.
I hope it's coming.
You know it's coming. Okay.
I hope it's coming.
R-Truth has stolen the 24/7 title, and he will bring it to the ring. A lot of pro wrestling defending titles that aren't yours lately.
Yes.
In all walks of wrestling.
Isn't that... I'm telling you, these things are like mind viruses. You start out, and it just sweeps through the companies.
Yes.
It's like double championships.
Yeah. One person gets one. It made it all the way to Japan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all right. Benjamin, Akira Tozawa, and they have a match, and this match includes ninjas, comedy spots, the lights going out, and a new champion. There was wrestling in there at some point. The Hurting Business is hurt.
Well,
and that is the story of the first half hour of the show, is that the Hurt Business is losing its steam.
Akira Tozawa is a
more
great
than
wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Why we got him?
So is R-Truth.
Yeah. So Shelton Benjamin.
Yes. But better than that, you had ninjas.
Terrible ninjas. That's annoying me too.
Shane O'Mac is going live underground at 10 p.m. Get ready.
Yes.
You don't like ninjas when they're
poorly done.
When they're stupid.
When they're stupid and obviously don't know any martial arts.
They all failed ninjadom.
They're all the worst ninjas I've ever seen. They make the Foot Clan look like...
First of all, if the lights went out...
Shouldn't they be an advantage?
The ninjas attacked a little early. They should have waited for the lights to go out.
And then everybody should have been dead when the lights came back up.
Right. Ugh. Okay, it's Messiah time. No, it's Dominic Mysterio time, and Dominic challenges Seth to a match at SummerSlam. Baszler versus Banks.
Haha, this was really good until it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, explain to me this, Bert.
Mm-hmm.
Why was the bell rung when Asuka attacked Bayley, neither of which are involved in the match, on the outside of the ring?
You had a problem with that?
I had a problem with that. There's no reason for it.
You had a problem with the fact that the bell was rung due to action that did not have to do with any of the competitors.
Yes.
In the match, outside of the ring.
Yes, because I've seen that 1,000 times before, and I've never, ever, ever, ever seen it get a bell before. Have you ever seen it get a bell before?
I think the ref misinterpreted the rules.
I don't
think that a distraction outside of the ring is worthy of a disqualification. Dude, that did not make any sense.
It
was fun what they were doing.
Yes, what I think happened was they were supposed to ring the bell because after Asuka threw her into the ring and it got into the match, but I think the dude jumped the gun and rang the bell early, and it just looks that was.
My guess is somebody got in trouble.
Yeah,
it's a live show, and somebody said, "Okay, ring the bell whenever they start fighting," and they, you know how it is when you have to tell somebody to do something,
exactly,
and you assume they know stuff.
Yeah, and they don't.
And some knucklehead does exactly what you told them.
Yeah, just exactly the wrong way.
And you're like, well, of course they had to be in the ring. And
have you watched the product?
He's like, but you said when they start fighting,
ring the bell.
Ring the bell. And the referee's probably in the ring going.
But the whole, yeah. Baszler versus Banks, though.
It's going to be great.
What we got was great.
Yes. When we get it, it's going to be fantastic. It stinks that we didn't get. It was going to be a wonk finish anyway, but at least we could have had a wonk finish that we didn't get irritated with.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be that. There was no way.
Is it time for Underground After Dark? It is time for Underground After Dark. We didn't even know the name of it until Shane O'Mac with oddly longer sideburns than normal, one of which was not trimmed as well as it could have been. Because he's rough and tumble.
Yeah.
Because Shane O'Mac is taking you underground.
Yes.
Because
from the stories, like real life stories, I think if anybody in the world is likely, if you were hanging out with him, for you to end up at some sort of underground bare knuckles fight, Shane McMahon might be that guy. The guy that Chuck Liddell said, that dude's too crazy for me to hang out with.
Yes. He'd be like, yeah.
I could see this happening, you know.
Shane's the guy that goes to a meeting in Japan, and he's able to go in there in a suit and hang. 3 hours earlier, he was walking out of an underground fight scene scenario with the sun coming up. Then he's like, what are you doing today? Well, I'm going to bed. I've been up all night. What are you doing today? Well, I got to go get a shave and go to a meeting.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
See you later. It's my life.
I got to get a coffee.
Yeah. That's about all I need.
Yeah.
What the?
Okay, so there are dancing girls, and it has a Fight Club feel.
The dancing girls was stupid.
But we absolutely do talk about Fight Club.
Yes.
In this scenario.
And we have the Kumite arena, pretty much.
Yes.
Bloodsport.
It seems to be very little rules. And there's a dude that's about 7'3" that fights like 3 or 4 people. And as soon as somebody's out cold, they jump in and stop it.
Yeah.
It looks like that's the rule here.
Or they're not defending themselves.
Right. So we do get like, it seems like we got 4 fights in a hurry. Or 5 fights in a hurry.
Yeah, you got a couple. And I thought that the fighting part of it was kind of cool. You had the Babatunda, whatever they're calling him now is some different name. I don't remember.
Right.
Shane said it, but he's big.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I didn't like his segment as much, the 7'3" guy.
Yeah.
I didn't like him as much. The 2 guys that were fighting before he got in the ring.
Yeah, were better.
And the one dude that roughed up like 2 guys in a row real quick, he was fun to watch.
Yeah, he had skills.
The 7'3" guy they're selling, I don't care about watching
generic big guy that slams people.
Right. But like you said, even later on when you get
Eric,
and we'll get there.
No, you get Ivar.
We'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there. Okay. But yes, I thought the concept. You take the dancing girls out, and I enjoy what they're doing. That's all you had to do for me. Just take the dancing girls out.
Yeah,
and it's fine. Okay, Dawkins versus, and not that I don't, whatever. Dawkins versus, and again, it is not necessarily something I don't believe I'd see Shane in.
Yes.
With or without the dancing girls.
Yes.
Okay. Dawkins versus Garza. Profits talk prior, and they're good. Match time. Lots of Andrade versus Ford. Dawkins is doing great stuff here. Garza takes advantage. 1, 2, 3. What? Works out, right?
Wait, you forgot the collapse of Montez Ford at ringside. And did you notice? I noticed that he drank from the cup. Have you ever seen him drink from the cup out there before?
No, he drank from the cup. He collapses outside of the ring. Every time he tries to do the weird thing on the ropes where he shakes it real fast is when he falls out.
Yeah.
And he does manage to somehow stay in the match looking disoriented, which is weird. Well, he did a pretty good job of trying to seem disoriented and still
it was
be
weird
able to
that he'd wrestle really sharp for like
a
minute and a half, and then he'd fall over. And then he'd wrestle real sharp for a minute and a half, and he'd fall over.
Yeah. And what we did not know is that somehow this man was poisoned.
Certainly had nothing to do with Zelina Vega.
Which, why did they say poisoned?
Yeah, why don't you say drugged?
Does drug have the wrong
context?
Does that feel wrong to Vince? So he had to say, does that tell you a little bit of something about Vince McMahon that he felt like if they would have said, just say you slid him a club drug? Mm-hmm. And he'd be like, no. We'll
what you should have said was, Dawkins could have come out of there and be like, tell you fam, he got Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, from the wedding ceremony.
Yes, dude, I just thought about that.
What if he would have said he
got a Triple H wedding?
No, what if he would have said he had a headache and he asked Flair for a pill?
Yes.
Flair said take 3.
Take 3.
They don't even face me.
I grind these up and put them in my coffee.
I just snorted them.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
But poison.
Instead, he got
Bianca
poisoned.
Belair. I love Bianca Belair so much. You knew how you knew it was about to get kicked off?
She took her earrings off.
Took her earrings out.
Saw whoever was there saw her taking her earrings, the little announcer lady, and she just got out of there because she knew as soon as it's on.
As soon as it's on, man.
And she does it. We'll skip to that. She does wind up attacking Zelina because she believes Zelina had done that to him, which of course makes sense that's how that
I
went.
wish we got that match. Zelina Vega's a great wrestler, and Bianca Belair.
We may. On Twitch yesterday, Zelina was running a Twitch, or I saw the clip yesterday. Zelina was running a Twitch stream with one of the 2 announcers and got attacked by Bianca.
Oh!
Wherever she was. Therefore, we may be getting that match, and that's going to be good. Bianca is strong enough to allow Zelina to do the Jungle Gym stuff with her. And then still beat her up later.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun when that happens, and I think it happens soon. Buddy, because I can't see another reason why they would have her jump her.
I know.
Buddy watches footage of him attacking Alistair's eye, and Seth says we have to look forward. Get it? Because eye. So they had to look forward because, okay.
Dude, does WWE contain anybody in that writer's room who has the capacity to avoid a cheap joke?
No.
Not a short joke,
I think
fat joke.
I think
a
WWE
eyeball
stands for cheap jokes.
Oh, God.
Buddy thinks Dominique is getting his first match. Buddy thinks that Dominique getting his first match against Seth at SummerSlam would be ridiculous. And Seth saves his thoughts for in the ring. And we go back to Raw Underground where Ibar versus that dude that wrestled on NXT and Dynamite in the same week. And he roughs him up real good. And I thought that was good. Then you get the poison segment that we just talked about. And then we get the footage of whatever happened to the lighting, because people in sweatsuits have attacked the transformer and hit it with Molotov cocktails.
That seems like if that was a real transformer, you might be in danger. if you're within, like, I don't know, 20 feet of that thing when you blow it and it, possibly arcs off on you or something.
Right, but I'm not sure that Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and Carmelo.
Is that who the girls are? I thought I was going...
I think that's who they are.
We'll
get there, too.
I thought I saw on the other segment they were on Smackdown, I was thinking it might be the two Shayna Baszler's two buddies. Because there's two girls in there, at least.
Yeah, but the one girl had
I saw that.
a lot of hair.
Yeah.
And then the internet detectives gave a close-up of the one girl's hand, and then a close-up of Mella's hand.
Oh.
And they almost look similar, you know what I mean? But it's a blurry picture and all that, so who knows?
Well, and
she does have a little bit of Carmella's stride.
Yeah.
So, but again, Vince will, these people were all 5'7" to 5'4", probably.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't see a big one in the lot.
Which I'm okay with, especially if it's Cedric Alexander and Ricochet.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to be in a faction anyway. And but or if they can just really, really wrestle, I don't care how tall they are. But by the same token, Vince is fully capable of giving us three people 6'5" next week and saying they were the same people.
I was thinking the same thing. There's masks on them.
Yeah, he may give us five totally different people next week.
Yeah.
And just to mess with us all. Okay. And so we wind up moving along to the Hurting Business, who believes all of this is Shane stuff. And I wrote down here before we knew it, they don't want Lashley and Shelton Benjamin down there. But what do you know? Okay, Seth winds up in the ring, and we'll get to Dom later. He wants to address Tom Phillips and Tom Phillips' lack of journalistic integrity. And he gets down in Tom's face, and he is really all in on Tom. And I thought he was doing pretty good, and I thought that's where we were going. When he started to sick, I was like, well, Joe ain't going to stand for this. And as soon as he's really sick buddy on there, Joe gets up and lets him know, hey,
they ain't going to play.
I'll mess your minion up right here.
Seth,
don't get it
twisted.
I'll mess you up too. We ain't touching Tom today.
Yeah.
And so Seth goes into the ring and challenges Joe, and Joe walks up to, I thought it was a little silly that when we come back from commercial break, Seth's taking the whole suit off and he's banging a chair on the ground, and Joe's acting like he's going to get into the ring.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love Joe, I don't see Joe walking into two chairs.
No, that's not smart.
Yeah, but I didn't mind it because the payoff was, as we've noticed, Dominic Mysterio is great with the kendo stick.
Well, yeah, he's great. She shatters one, man. He swings it for the fences, buddy.
Yes. And so he smokes him. He comes up from behind, smokes him with the kendo stick. He does a 619. He does
the way that Seth Rollins ended up in position for the 619.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He made that look like it happened on purpose.
Yeah. He
just flung himself. It was amazing.
Yes, and he just
completely by
boing, boing. Oh, here I am. Ready for you.
And I'm gonna give you my boy Dominic. I felt a little bit better after watching that segment.
The way he jumped from the top rope onto Seth and them, and he kind of did his arms back in the air like Ray. The 619 was beautiful. Even if he only knows a couple of spots, Seth might can work with that.
That's my point right there. Is if that dude can do that much, I think Seth can get a match out of it.
Right. Be interesting because later on in the week, I think that it's like, oh, they gave Seth a really high degree of difficulty for SummerSlam. But later on in the week, I think another version of this company has decided to up the degree of difficulty for a match at SummerSlam. A match that weekend. A match that not SummerSlam, but that weekend. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, I like your point.
Oh, so then we go back to Underground, and Dolph is whooping the snot out of people down there, and it was cool.
Well, you get to see Dolph Ziggler is one of the best wrestlers on the roster. We're not talking like pro wrestling. I'm talking like amateur wrestler. This dude is a phenomenon.
The greatest wrestler in the history of the college he went to.
And Kent State's got one of the most prestigious wrestling
at when he was there, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that it was neat to see him get to do that.
Yes.
Because he's always a pro wrestler for us. He's always super kicking and all that, selling for other people. It was cool to see him sprawl and attack and get behind a guy and put him. You know what I mean? It was really cool.
Yeah.
And that's again, I like
he's
the
so
segments.
good at it. Yeah, I liked all the fight parts. The big dude stuff was a little blah blah blah.
Right.
But most of them were really fun to watch. They were short. They were fast. It was just like, I like that. It's like a shot. It's like an espresso wrestling.
Yeah. You could give me perfect espresso wrestling. You could give me 15 minutes of that.
Yeah.
In a show, and it could be 12 matches.
Yeah.
And it just be you can stick random people in it. I don't have to know who they are.
Yeah. Don't care.
I don't have to be invested in it. It's two guys that think they can fight each other.
Yeah.
It seems cool, right? Okay, and so then of course the Hurt Business show up. And run roughshod over the whole thing because the best wrestlers on the show besides Dolph are Lashley and
Shelton Benjamin.
And so they go crazy on it.
And Shelton also had Lashley's also a pro MMA fighter.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is like if you were to build a scenario for a pro wrestler to get him over, Ken Shamrock, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar are the names.
Yeah.
You know, of guys that you say, okay, this is where we're going to do it. And Lashley almost fits it better than them in a way. Because he doesn't have because he hasn't been in a UFC ring. Yeah. So it's okay that it's underground. Yeah. Right? And then you have MVP who's going to be able to be this talking point of it. And it's not like you can't see MVP in this scenario.
You know who I was just thinking, because we just watched this, who might be a great addition to the Hurt Business to kind of vary it outside the box a little bit? Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, yeah. If you wanted to. And he could use a darkness. Yeah. Because he's not a happy character, but you know what I mean. He's a heel, but he's a heel in the way that Motley Crue are heels. Yes. Exactly. If that makes any sense. Okay, so I thought it was a good episode. It was weird. They threw everything at the wall. A little bit of it I rolled my eyes at, but overall it was fine.
I like the fact they were trying stuff outside the box. I give them that.
Right.
Do I know that I've seen the Nexus angle done before, and it looked like it started better than this. It may not end better, Right. But
and we don't know either. Nexus was literally new guys to the company. And we don't know for sure yet if these guys will be new to the company. And that could be good or bad. Yeah. You could give me, if you give me Ali and, well, you know what? We'll get to that when we get to the next show. NXT starts off, and it's my favorite show of the week normally. Ripley versus Dakota Kai was fantastic. They got time to stretch it out. Ripley is really becoming a special performer. She was able to hold Kai in positions that allowed Kai to do amazing things. It went well. Martinez winds up kicking Ripley and knocking her for a loop, which causes Dakota to be able to... I thought they did this well, too, that Ripley was in a position with the ropes, so Dakota could use the ropes to help her hold somebody bigger than her up so she could do her finisher. Yes. And although I think she wound up... Somebody got Ripley in the chin because she was cut pretty good under her chin. But I really love this finish. I love Dakota winning. I love that they've set up the next matchup for Ripley.
I think Martinez is a good adversary for Ripley because she's like the darker, more serious version of you. Absolutely. Okay, moving on. Bronson Reed versus Shane Thorne. Reed hits the Death Valley Driver. We get a 1-2-3 win. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, I like this dude.
Yeah, and I like Thorne fine. It was good. Priest versus Oney Lorcan versus Ridge Holland. I thought this was excellent.
This is a great match.
And Lorcan takes the pin on the Reckoning, and I thought the whole thing was well done. I thought they utilized this in kind of introducing Ridge Holland to us, and I think he's pretty good too.
I do.
This is going to be good.
He does violate my number one wrestling rule, though.
What's that?
He has no knee pads, and he has the short boots and the man panties. It's the Cody Rhodes thing, man. Put some knee pads on. Break it up, dude. Break it up.
That's tough.
It is. That dude is just built like he's like a British Big E in his build, sort of.
Yeah.
Except he's a rugby player. He is vicious. I like him.
Okay, Damien says that this tournament was made for him, and he and Bronson seem ready to go at it. Now, Loomis is hurt, evidently.
Oh, yeah. Do you think it was on the flip? Over the...
Yeah, I guess so.
I would bet that's where he hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
I was excited, because I like Loomis.
Yeah, it stinks. But they're going to have a match to set up who's going to be next in this thing. And that's I like more wrestling. Keith Lee versus Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes!
Some people poo-pooed this. I really liked it. I thought Cameron Grimes, people wanted it to be a squash match, and I get that.
Why? Why do you want... It was kind of a squash match,
Sure.
But Cameron Grimes, I want him to be a legitimate threat.
Right, and he was able to last long enough that he tired Keith out a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Keith still gets to overcome it. It wasn't like it was 20 minutes.
No,
I don't think it was 10.
Keith sold for him all over the place, really.
No, Keith pretty much beat him up.
Yeah.
Cameron got a couple things in.
Took longer than you would think, and that plays to Cameron Grimes being really, really resilient.
Mm-hmm. Tough.
And opportunistic.
A tough jerk.
Yeah, tough jerk.
Right. And so, post-match, the Lee versus Cross thing gets solidified a little more. Cross is killing these promos.
Yeah,
I like that they're not giving us too much of him in the ring.
No.
Because right now he's an attraction.
Yes.
Right now, so I like that.
I like that. I think it was. I saw Orny lurking. I couldn't tell who else I saw back there. He just took everybody out. Everybody's gonna pay. Till I get what I want.
Everybody's laying around.
Yeah.
Right. I like it.
I don't know what. I wonder if that was Croatian again. That statement that started it. I'm gonna need a translator for Karrion Kross promos.
Dude, who was it saying that he was evidently some weird...
Oh, who was it? The guy used to be an announcer.
Yeah, said that he was a hitman for the Russian mafia at one point.
Yeah. Or some mafia.
You would think if you were an ex-hitman for the Russian mafia, you would maybe take your money and go to the mountains.
Yeah, and not go do pro wrestling.
On TV every Wednesday, so people kind of know where you are.
Yeah. That doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't cross the smell test, but whatever.
No. Hey, Woody Harrelson's dad was a hitman.
Was he really?
Yeah, dude. He killed a federal judge.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. He's a hitman for some of the different, I don't know, Mexican
cartel
kind of a guys. Wow. Killed Maximum John, who's a federal judge down in Texas.
Who gave out max sentences.
Max sentences because one of his bosses was on trial with him. I think he's still in prison. He might have died, but he was putting life in prison.
Whew. No.
Or he might have been executed because he killed a federal judge. That's capital crime in Texas, I would imagine.
I'm sure it's capital crime most places.
Go look at his old mugshot, dude. He looks just like Woody Harrelson. It looks like a Natural Born Killers promo or something like that, which now puts Natural Born Killers in the fact that Woody Harrelson seems like he's really the nicest dude on the planet. Yes. In a weird context.
Yeah, absolutely. Legado del Fantasma attacks Breezango outside in the parking lot because wrestling parking lots are very dangerous. And they actually abscond him, and then they drag him to the ring later. And Tyler Breeze could not save him, and Escobar puts Swerve Scott on notice. I liked all of this.
I liked it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I like them as a heel faction. I just hope they don't get just punked out at some point.
Okay, this is my line in the sand of the entire episode, because up until this point, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Now, at this point, Pat McAfee comes out.
Oh, God.
And sits at the announcer's table. We get a Tegan Knox Indy Hartwell match. McAfee says he's good with Cole during this time period. Tegan wins on the Shiniest Wizard. The match was okay, but we're focusing on Pat McAfee during this match. Then we get a tag team championship match, which I've been looking forward to. Imperium versus Undisputed Era. All the members of Undisputed Era are there. Adam Cole continues to eyeball McAfee, and while Eichner, Barthel, O'Reilly, and Fish are having a great wrestling match, we are only talking about Pat McAfee and Adam Cole, and we continue to show them having problems with each other. Cole goes to McAfee, throws water on his face after yelling at him.
Well, and McAfee's sitting over there, and I'm having to listen to him make dumbass short jokes again. Again, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting dumbass short jokes. Tell me, are we going to change Adam Cole's name to Shorty C?
Dude.
Shorty A? I don't know.
I hated this. I hated it. And then to have the Undisputed Era lose on this, I don't mind the Undisputed Era losing on a distraction since they've won a lot on these type of things. This one
galled me.
All of this that they did with Adam Cole, I don't like them messing around with him, with McAfee. I don't consider him a big enough star to
He gets on my nerves when he's not trying to get on my nerves.
Right. But now I will do my best after I get through saying this to say what I believe they're thinking. I did not, when I saw this, I don't think he's not Lawrence Taylor. He's not a Mike Tyson. He's not a star.
He's a punter.
He was.
Now
he's a personality.
Yes.
Now he does. Okay. Anyway, so they get into it. First problem, I would have preferred, all of this could have been done with Cole post-match.
Mm-hmm.
All of it could have been done with Cole post-match.
Mm-hmm.
We could have had McAfee say a couple of those things and actually talk a little bit about the wrestling in the ring, which was fantastic.
There's a great match going on.
Correct. We could have given us match of the week along with
putting
this segment getting over. Right? Okay, but that's not what happens. Then what winds up happening is Cole goes after him. They get separated. McAfee walks back over. Punt kicks him.
Well, yeah, somehow Adam Cole tries to come over the top of the announce desk and ends up with his head sticking over the edge. So Pat McAfee runs over there, and the only move he knows
is a kick.
Is a punt, and he has Adam Cole's head lined up perfectly for it.
And kicks him, knocks him out. Now, the other thing is, I have seen Adam Cole go 20 minutes with Keith Lee.
Yes.
I've seen Johnny Gargano hit him. I think Johnny Gargano actually shot him with a buckshot, and Cole kicked out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And yet, he gets knocked out with one blow here. Even though it's a punt from a punter, my eyes tell me he kicked him in the chest.
Yeah.
I may be wrong on that. Maybe I blinked. I don't know. But I didn't. I've been sold. We spent the last year of pro wrestling in NXT explaining that Adam Cole is formidable. The entire Survivor Series was shaped around Adam Cole being formidable. Adam Cole went toe-to-toe with Daniel Bryan and gave us a Match of the Year candidate. He had a very good match with Seth Rollins the 2 days later on Raw. He was the focal point of all of this company, WWE and NXT, like both Raw, SmackDown, all of that was the focal point because we were legitimizing this new show that we're putting on USA. And that was all based around Adam Cole. And now he is dealing with a celebrity match. It's almost as if they said Seth is having a match with a guy who having his first match at SummerSlam. And Adam said, give me a tougher degree of difficulty for TakeOver.
We'll give you a punter.
Yes, a punter. But, and the other thing is too, here's what I think they were doing. I think that podcasters, these style of personalities, this new wave, not obviously we aren't personalities, but this new wave of every single person that's been a little bit famous has their own podcast. I think Hunter looks at that, and McAfee is a guy that they've kind of underlined as he's got our favor. And I think he wants to give those style of people some shine. And it's almost his way of acknowledging that style of wrestling performance, or wrestling press coverage, of acknowledging it and giving it the thing. I saw Dave LaGreca said something to the effect of, thank you, Triple H, for acknowledging what we do, and that kind of thing, because of this thing with McAfee. And I don't know if he was kidding or whatever, but I do think that that's a little bit of what Hunter was thinking, in that I'm legitimizing this form of reporting by giving this guy, and he is an athlete. I think I can get a match out of him.
Are you worried that the ending of this is going to be the Undisputed Era turns on Alex Cole and delivers McAfee a win over Adam Cole at SummerSlam?
Holy cow. No, I never thought for a second Pat McAfee could win. Now that you mention it, that would be horrible. But if you wanted to add a personality to one of the two shows, but you can't really afford to add 4 wrestlers to a show, considering you're about to add a faction to somebody, that would be the best way to do it. To have them turn on Adam Cole, have him lose to Pat McAfee, and have him show up on Raw.
Yeah.
By himself. I'm Adam Cole.
Baby.
But I don't think that'll happen, because I don't think... Boy, it made me mad to see Hunter and Sean in the middle of all this crap when I'm watching it. But I don't think... I've heard Sean talk too much about Adam Cole to think there's any way he wants to lose him. I think Adam Cole is Shawn Michaels' favorite wrestler.
Well, yeah.
Besides Johnny Gargano.
Because he's Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, correct. Well, and
I love Shawn. I'm not just picking, but yeah, I can see how he could look at that guy and go, man, all these great ideas that I have running around in my head, and I've had running around my whole career that I may not ever got to do, this guy could do all of it.
Yeah, no problem.
No problems.
Well, and 2, I've heard Sean say over and over again, he's willing to do anything we ask of him. Yeah. Including this bull crap right here.
Yeah, I'll go out there and make a punter look good.
And I love this show, but I was so mad with the last half hour.
I don't disagree with you at all.
I was so flustered. Oh my God. Smackdown is next. The Firefly Funhouse we start out with. People are sliding into Bray's DMs and telling him all of this is his fault, when the reality is it must be Braun's. He allowed all of this to happen. The Fiend, is going to take someone you care about. The Fiend will be here later tonight. Braun must give him what he wants, or curtains for the damsel in distress. No! And then we get Matt Riddle versus Sheamus. What? Matt Riddle versus Sheamus. That's right.
It was a great match.
It was. Strong first segment. 2 contrasting styles. The prototype pro wrestler versus the bruiser. Who is also a bruiser from yesteryear versus the modern MMA hybrid wrestler. It was done really well.
Speaking of did you see the little bruiserweight call back there to his buddy with the fingers? I was like, yeah.
Yes. Match was going well. Riddle gets jumped by Gable, and
then this destroys Chad Gable, dude. Chad Gable got buried. Because then Sheamus gets him.
Right. Correct. Because he's mad that he lost the match because of that crap.
And what I really liked, it was a great match. But here's the thing. Count how many clean finishes we get in this whole episode.
Hardly any.
Do we get 1? I think we get 1 maybe clean finish, maybe 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But Sheamus then reacts in a natural way. He goes, why was this guy out here? This guy was out here because Baron Corbin's dumbass is putting out bounties on people. And I'm going to go after... I'm not playing the all heels are buddies. I'm going to take the natural reaction.
Right. I thought the same thing. I didn't like that this match got interrupted because I enjoyed it, but I was okay with it because it made sense. The whole thing made sense. He didn't join along with Shorty G and start kicking the guy on the ground. Yeah, helping him beat Matt Riddle. No,
he lost the match for him. He was mad at the guy who, not Matt Riddle.
He even approaches Corbin backstage, and there's more to this.
Yes,
you knew there was.
It plays out through the whole show.
To your point, we have 2 bad guys.
Yeah,
mad at each other. What?
Yeah.
Okay. On WWE television? Really? Okay. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are going to be on the dirt sheet, we think. It's not. It's Mandy's hair. No. And they do a little... Dude, John Morrison said the thing about nobody being as underground as him.
Yeah.
I loved it. By the way, I watched the Black Lotus episode of Lucha Underground yesterday, where they have Kairi Sane, Io, and a girl who at the time I think was thought to be a better wrestler than them. All in the ring versus they did a gauntlet match versus Pentagon. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that match was good. Oh, dude, you got to pull it up. It's on YouTube. Every season of Lucha Underground's on YouTube. You can put it on. You can when you're sitting around doing nothing. You can put it on YouTube, episode 1, and it'll just naturally go through the whole.
Dude, I'm gonna do that.
Dude, it's so good. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to what's important. Mandy's fake hair.
Cut hair.
They mentioned the redemption or whatever because their mics go out a couple of times. It is her cut hair. I'm sorry. Sonya winds up getting invited out.
Which was a great foreshadowing. By great, I mean heavy-handed and stupid.
Okay.
Because they keep doing it throughout the show. They didn't just do it once.
Right. Sonya plays obsessed really, really well. They wind up all going in.
How was that? Look, Sonya, suit. How cool was that, dude?
She, right now, is one of the best things in pro wrestling.
I love her. Love her to death.
Right. The way she talks, the way she carries herself, the way she fights, the way...
Everything
about her is perfect. And they just got to just keep... Even if they want her to lose to Mandy in this...
Oh, why would they ever want that?
Who cares as long as they keep, after this, allowing her to be herself? Because a lot of times, the person who's going to go the furthest may lose the breakup in the tag team match.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't mean they don't wind up being the person who goes the furthest.
Yeah.
That's just to keep the fans happy because the cheater can lose and come back, right? Okay, so we wind up with Otis and Tuck coming down because they're not going to take this crap. And they clear the ring, and we wind up setting up a match at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Lindsay El Dorado versus Cesaro, and this was, again, what? Lindsay El Dorado versus Cesaro.
Yeah, dude.
And this was
This had a clean finish.
Short, but great. Cesaro is so good. Dorado does flips off of him like crazy.
There was a couple spots in there that it was hard to figure out how, because it was just so good. Not in a bad way. I mean, it was just like, wow.
Like, how could that happen?
Yeah.
How could humans do that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Well, both guys are...
different kinds of genetic freaks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, and I love the gotch, the European uppercut into the gotch.
Neutralizer? Yeah.
Dude. Oh, my God. The whole thing looked legitimate, even though it was visually crazy because of how great the athletes are.
Yes.
And I just loved it. I love this match. Okay, Otis and Tuck backstage, and like we said, they're gonna get a piece of them. The Fiend, something wicked this way comes.
Classic reference.
I love it. And then that's a pretty good flick.
Mm-hmm. And Shakespeare.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well,
Shakespeare's okay, but the movie was pretty good. I'm trying to remember who the guy was that plays the heel in that.
Oh, that plays the carnival leader guy.
He looks like the dude from Last Action Hero, but it can't be because they're years and years apart, those two movies. But he kind of
wasn't the bad guy in Last Action Hero the bad guy from Golden Child? Is that the same dude?
Dude,
is that
I've never put those two together.
Is that Brother Noomsy?
Yes. Yes.
There's a classic.
The Golden Child is classic.
That we need to bring up for the other show.
Yeah, but Last Action Hero is not actually a classic.
It's not a classic.
I had high hopes for that movie.
It should have been. It should have been like the cinematic match.
The soundtrack has like AC/DC big guns.
Yes.
And all that good heavy.
Oh, dude.
For the moment, it also had a lot of hair bands, but it had Anthrax on there.
Yes.
2 Alice in Chains tracks. It had.
Wasn't it Anthrax doing
Tesla.
Something
like poison my eyes?
Could have been. Oh man, why was I thinking it was when them when doing?
It wasn't Louder Than a Bomb.
No, I was thinking of Public Enemy when they did Bring the Noise. Was it Bring
the Noise.
Yeah.
They do that together, but it's not for that movie, I don't think. Although there could be 2 tracks from Anthrax on there, but I think I think Alice in Chains is the only one that has 2 tracks on there.
Yeah.
It's a really good record, though. The Tesla song's not very good.
Stunning.
Well, it's literally called Last Action Hero.
Oh, man. So remember when they used to do that? Mm-hmm. Vanilla Ice did the song for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
Dude, I saw Vanilla Ice in concert after like a spring football game, in Tallahassee. He
Yes.
was like, it was like 80s night afterwards. Wow. And he closed his set with the Ninja Turtle song, or he opened the encore with the Ninja Turtle song. I'm almost 100% sure he closed.
I'd have lost it.
He probably closed with, what's the Queen cover? What's
nice.
Ice Ice Baby?
Yes.
Okay. But dude, he brought out Real Live Ninja Turtles
Better than those weird
that danced around him.
That's awesome.
Yes. Oh my god!
I saw him when he turned into a metal act in college. So
even better. Better.
The metal version of Ice Ice Baby is interesting.
Okay, so the Fiend has Alexa in the ring, and she
he's about to give her the old Mandible Claw again, and she
stops him and starts rubbing his face.
Gives him the Beauty and the Beast move there.
Right, which is interesting, and then he turns away from her, and Braun appears on the screen, and Braun is becoming interesting finally, right?
Yes.
I don't give a damn about Alexa. I knew when we fought, when one of two things happened, and I was either going to destroy you or become the most evil thing that ever lived, or I was going to rip your arms limb from limb, or become the most evil thing that ever lived. And since you're still standing, I have come back the most evil thing that ever lived. I am the nightmare. I'm the thing nightmares are made of. I loved it. People were freaking out because they think Alexa's going to turn into Sister Abigail, or she was Sister Abigail. I'm like, no, I don't think that's anywhere near what we're doing. I think basically everything that comes in contact with the Fiend is changed. She's come in contact with him. She's going to deal with issues, which means that out of this program, we probably, now Vince is fully capable of just forgetting about all this.
Oh yeah,
but I would guess that you do something different with her.
Well,
here.
you've got a story if you really, because like you pointed out, when she came into WWE, she had the Harley Quinn look, but she didn't have really the Harley Quinn character.
Right.
Now you have an opportunity with WWE's own version of the Joker to create a Harley Quinn,
complete with big checkerboard mallet.
And he's a clown,
and she can lose and laugh and not care.
Yeah,
and have fun. And do everything, and do the little. Remember when she used to hold her hand up and it had the skeleton glove on?
Yeah.
And she wiggled it like that. She could bring that back.
Yeah.
All of that would work. And he loses his match in the swamp because he was reminded prior to the fight of what makes him human, what makes him likable.
Yeah.
What makes people that aren't mean desire him. The bridge to that was Alexa and their tag team, mixed tag team stuff, right? And the Ride Around TV show where he's really nice to her, and all of that. And so then when he loses, it's on the heels of being reminded of that. He's not quite willing to go there yet, and he pushes Bray down into the swamp. Bray comes out of the swamp as Fiend, pulls him down under. So when he comes back up, naturally, he's
divested himself of all those empathy,
and he's ready to fight.
Now he's ready. He's done. He's ready to be what he needs to be.
And people are worried that he's going to beat the Fiend. Here's my thing: if he does defeat the Fiend as a vicious figure, as a real monster, he didn't really beat the Fiend, because the Fiend's goal was to change him anyway.
Yeah.
The Fiend's goal wasn't the belt.
No.
It was to change who you are. Make you who you really are.
Your assumption is that you've got what I want means the belt because I keep showing you the belt. But just because I'm telling you something don't mean that's what the truth is.
What the Fiend wants is to make everybody the truest version of who they want to be.
Yeah.
And stop ignoring who they are in order to make
those
people
dark
happy.
Impulses.
Right. Yeah. Seth Rollins is evil now. He wants that with everybody. The only problem was with Daniel. Daniel's true version of himself
is a good guy.
Right. So he goes back to himself instead of,
Yeah.
But other than that, right. Okay. Let's go on to Corbin versus Hardy. This is a good little matchup. It's going great until, as we know, Sheamus kicks the teeth off of Jeff.
Well, Sheamus got no. I think got in his face in the back, and then comes out there and I love that Sheamus both got to kick Jeff Hardy in the face and screw over Baron Corbin
and beat up Shorty G
in one fell swoop. I mean, but this little part right here was brilliant because I got to kick the guy in the face. I wanted to kick in the face, and that also causes the problem for the guy I'm also pissed at. Plus, it sets
It's perfect. It's perfect wrestling, and again, I don't get the finish I want, but I don't care because
I didn't care. Jeff versus Baron Corbin was a throwaway match anyway.
Right. Well, there's no background to it. Correct. Yeah. Okay. And then we get Corbin versus Sheamus immediately.
Yes.
And it's classic 80s style wrestling match. Two Adonises beating the hell out of each other. And then Riddle does the flyby as we think he's going to hit him. Corbin runs at him. He jumps over him. And then when Corbin turns around and gets bro kicked in the mouth.
Perfect. Because I didn't technically interfere.
Correct.
They didn't call the bell.
Right. Now, if it had been on Raw,
yeah,
they may have rung the bell.
They may have rung the bell
while he was on the ramp. Or the person who got fired on Raw may have accidentally done it. Okay. I thought it was great. Great stuff. Okay. And then we get and also when you look at it, you have Riddle, Hardy, Sheamus, Corbin, and Shorty G all in some form of a collision course. Which is great because you have a title picture with two people that are colliding and dealing with each other, and there's 3 storylines coming out of that. You can have infinite amount of storylines here. We're going to get to more storylines. Now, Bayley and Sasha come out.
Because Stephanie McMahon has called him out there.
Dude, I thought this segment was gold.
Yes.
Because they said, Stephanie compliments them, and they're like, oh, thank you so much. And then that turns into her saying, oh, we've emulated ourselves after you, Steph. And she says, yeah, I could tell by the way you totally mocked everything I've been trying to do to legitimize the wrestling you've been doing. They were like, no, we watched the WWE Network for $9.99.
Yeah.
And we follow what you and Hunter did in your career.
Yeah.
And
which is a true point because
best for business, they quote.
Oh, yeah.
They hit all the high notes of these things that Steph had sold as marquee things to the company.
Yeah.
While irritating the crap out of Steph by putting stuff in her face. And Steph gives it back to him by saying, if both of you are going to defend, if Asuka wins, Sasha, you'll deal with her. If not, we'll figure something out. And they're going to have let's see, what kind of match are we going to have?
A Battle Royal.
A Battle Royal, but a tri-brand.
Tri-brand Battle Royal. So you could get Io versus Bayley. You get Shayna versus Bayley. You get... Oh, there's lots of ways.
Rhea Ripley could wrestle Bayley?
Yeah.
It is a wonderful... We won't get Nia Jax versus Bayley.
Thank God.
See, and yet you thought you were mad that she got suspended.
I was just mad that she didn't just get beat up. That was more,
But she's suspended, so you don't have to worry about that.
This is true.
We've alleviated your pain.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't have to worry about.
Thorn in your pride. That's another reference. Okay. Big E interview.
What's gold?
He did. He went preacher on us a little bit. I liked it. I would like to see him be a little more serious, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy on a roll.
Yeah.
Let's get this guy on a roll. Yeah, okay. And then we wind up with... what do we wind up with next? Miz and Morrison versus... After the fat jokes, blah, 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 whatever. Miz and Morrison versus Heavy Machinery is what winds up happening next. And... I felt like this was a pretty good match. I'm not into Otis's pelvic thrusts and all that. But,
doesn't do it for me.
But he is fun once the wrestling match begins. You eliminate the pelvic thrusts in the weird Hogan-esque.
I still say Tucker is the bigger star of the two if you ever let him be.
At some point.
Yeah.
At some point, yeah. And Tuck does well in this match, too. And Morrison did a thing. All he was doing was getting out of the ring. Dude,
that sequence of where he rolls backwards, hits Miz's hand, goes through the ropes, and lands on the floor. Yeah.
Does a roll out of the ring between the ropes and hits the floor standing up.
Yeah. It was so subtle you weren't paying attention, but it was like the smoothest thing I've ever seen. He went backwards the whole way.
Yeah. It's so nuts how coordinated it is. Okay.
If I tried to do that,
but this
I would break 3 bones and tear 3 ligaments.
And one thing you said, there weren't any real finishes in this. And this doesn't wind up being a finish either, because we wind up having, at some point, the ring is cleared and everybody's fighting outside of the ring, and Tuck slams himself into the barricade. Otis winds up slamming himself into the steps. Nobody's in the ring. Mandy attacks Sonya, who's outside of the ring. They roll into the ring. Bell rings. This whole thing is pushed away.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't think they rang the bell until...
Yeah, I think the stars actually got involved and somebody got touched.
Basically, Otis and we'll try to pull them apart and all that. So, but it's interesting, too, because in this episode, you did not have any women's wrestling matches. Yet, all of the angles were kind of centered around. Alexa was a big part of this one angle. This whole 3-segment thing with The Miz and Morrison wasn't about The Miz and Morrison.
No.
It was all about Sonya and Mandy. And then we get the introduction of the soccer mom haircut, which was a big deal. Evidently, it was mentioned many times. And we get them brawling again. And then we have the Sasha Bailey, we're setting up this huge event for Monday, right? Yeah. So they were a big part of the show, even though you didn't actually see them wrestle. You did see a couple of brawls here and there. I thought this show flowed really, really well. Now we're going to get to the thing that was the takeaway. After they fight their way to the back, we hear these noises. We come back from commercial, and they're still fist fighting in the back, and the lights go out. They come on, and this new faction has entered the ring. They Retribution is their name. They're brawling. They aren't brawling because nobody's there, but they are tearing things up. They get out their cans of spray paint, and only one of them knows how to tag things, if you notice.
Yes.
Everybody else just did squiggly lines. One of them actually didn't know how to tag. He had the red spray can. He was able to.
Yeah, he did a couple things.
Yeah. But the cuss words did get bleeped out, but they tore stuff up. They beat up the fans in the crowd.
Who were supposedly wrestlers.
Correct.
Yeah, but did you notice, and this is my thing, they brought bats, they brought pipes, they brought all these weapons. And as soon as they hit stupid things with bats and pipes and all these weapons. Did you notice what they did when they immediately started attacking people? They all dropped their weapons.
To go punch people?
To go punch people.
Well, they had a numbers advantage.
Not really. There's about 30 people outside that ring. There's only about 5 or 6 of them.
There was a wall, though. There was only 5 or 6.
Yeah, but once they went outside the wall, that's a circle. All those other guys could have come around there.
No, there's like a walkway on that one side.
That you can...
Maybe.
Look, it's like that. If they came through, they made a hole. I'm just saying.
Why would you drop your bat before you get in a fight?
Yeah, against what should have been...
Especially in theory if you are a gang of ruffians.
Yes.
Who are...
I've seen the Warriors.
Who are bringing retribution.
Because I've seen the Warriors. I know how you handle these things, man.
Okay, now, so then they get in the ring. One of them has a chainsaw.
Where did the chainsaw come from?
Dude.
Because I can understand if you'd had the chainsaw out running people that way. Because I was so scared when they started letting that dude with the chainsaw. Because chainsaws are dangerous.
Correct. You can lose a limb or... I was more worried that one of those idiots would pat him on the back or something.
Yes.
And it would be on. Like somebody lost their arm.
Like dude.
Or, you get your foot, your leg, whatever. Yeah. And when you hold a chainsaw, you know.
And he was holding it one-handed.
Once it gets to where the belt's moving.
Yeah.
You realize, this is serious.
That's a steel chainsaw, too. That wasn't some fake chainsaw.
Dude, no kidding. I'll just tell a story. One time, my wife asked me about if you took trees down off of big trees, if you took limbs down on ladders with a chainsaw. And I said, she said, where is the ladder? Because the chainsaw was still at the house. I said, no.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I mean, somebody might. They aren't named Kevin and Teresa.
No. No.
I would think that would be a cherry picker. I did no.
No, one of those long extendable poles with the mini chainsaw on the end of it. So if it falls
it don't hit
20 feet away from me.
Right.
I don't even want that thing. Because what if I spin around with that thing and hit a power line?
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, dude.
You got to know what you're doing. No, sir. No, sir.
That guy was probably a real lumberjack.
No, that dude was absolutely not a real lumberjack.
No, he wasn't.
It was extended effort to cut the ring rope.
Yeah, and holding it one-handed again, dude. Oh, dude. And there was a moment there where somebody got way too close to him.
Oh, my God. Now, tell me this. But, okay, from what I'm reading online, the names I've gotten, Vanessa Bourne, Carmella, Ali, Cedric, Ricochet. If that is the faction, is it cool?
I can see it being cool if they let them be cool.
I do too. I do, especially if it's those three guys. Because if it's those three guys and they're smart, they bring Ali in as the hacker.
Yeah.
You know, you tie it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Ali's the hacker, and then you can utilize that to bring retribution along with. Now, do I believe they'll get all this? I don't know. Vanessa Bourne is. We do know about Carmella. She's been healed. She's been face. She's been healed. We know she can do both.
Yeah.
We know she's pretty good in the ring. She'll have to change her style a little bit to be a heel. Vanessa Bourne is a completely blank slate.
Mm-hmm.
She can do whatever she wants to do at this level. We don't have anything to prejudge her on.
No.
And if those three guys, people say, oh, well, they're all 5'5". If those three guys are my faction that are small, and they decide they want to cheat and do whatever to win, they're formidable.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
Uh-huh. If I jump off the top rope with a pair of brass knuckles in my hand and hit you with a Superman punch or something like that, doesn't matter how big you are.
Right. Or if I hit you with chairs and all that other stuff,
and
then we find a place for me to climb up and jump off of.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, too. Or, dude, Ricochet can do everything John Morrison can do.
Yeah.
And so you can get in fights backstage and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
With that guy. And Ali ain't far behind.
No.
So anyway, I enjoyed it. I don't hate the new faction. I just want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't
thought
want
the
them to
entrance
use
was a little
chainsaws
silly.
anymore. I don't want the chainsaws to happen anymore.
No.
I'm not okay with that. So we're good. Good week?
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was. They literally threw everything at the wall to see what stuck.
Uh-huh.
And some of it was spaghetti and some of it was...
worms.
Not.
Yeah.
All right. For Justin, for me, KP, this has been a Go Home Heat production. Copyright 2020. Go home.